honors, as opposed to my mates who did honors in economics or honors in political science.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Did
with multilateral agencies, NGOs, universities, and management development institutions across the globe. We are also engaged in a number of initiatives and programs with various foundations and groups. One such collaboration is with the African Capacity Building Foundation, where for the past 8 years we have designed programs to improve performance of public sector through balanced academic and professional training in public sector management in Africa. From the business leader to parliamentarians to the highest ranking leaders in our government, the GIMPA student and training participant has high expectations of the institute. With our air-conditioned classrooms and pristine grounds, GIMPA's commitment to excellence is also reflected in the state of our campus. Our recent investment projects include a state-of-the-art conference center with 128 guest rooms, a 250 capacity conference hall, and other meeting rooms, a 3-story office block named the Unibank building, a 4-story Faculty of Law building, and the creation of a student center complete with relaxation rooms and business services for our students. To our students, we offer accommodation, a health clinic, laundry services, and a host of other important facilities, all spread over the serene and peaceful Green Hill campus, and our student interests are represented by a Student Affairs Office and an active Student Representative Council. As we continue to grow, expanding beyond our Green Hill campus, we open regional campuses in Kumasi, Takoradi, and Tema. With this distinctive white and blue architecture located on beautiful grounds in the Achimota Green Hill area of Accra, ours is an academic community where students and faculty thrive and aim for excellence in all they do.
Welcome back, viewers, to AAU Impact Stories, where we are talking to Professor Yao Ajimambedu, former rector of GIMPA in Ghana. Prof, before the break, you told us a very interesting story about you just finishing your bachelor's, and 2 days later you packed your bag and left the shores of Ghana. Can you just continue from this story?
Yes, I left Ghana with no working experience, actually not much experience. I just went straight to graduate school. And so I continued on to graduate school, and all I knew was just my books. And this was a public administration program, and just about everybody was either working for the government of South Carolina or the federal government, and maybe 2 of us with no work experience. So when you're having class discussions, they will, one of your colleagues will turn to you and say, "Oh, how do you do this at your agency?" I don't have an agency. I've never worked in an. In an agency, and with a few other, if you wanted to see me, find me, the best place was in the library. Wow. After class, we just went straight and stayed in the lab. Once in a while, we will socialize outside the classroom outside experience. It was a 1-year master's program.
Okay.
I wanted to go on and do my PhD, so I opted to write a master's thesis.
Okay.
And incidentally, my thesis for my Ghanaian listeners was on the evolution of public administration.
After PhD, I thought you went on a scholarship, so you were going to come back to Ghana.
No, actually, it was a scholarship given by the foreign university.
All right.
Where I was going, the University of Ghana. I mean, sorry, Ghana. But like most of us who went to the diaspora, you are always prepared to come home, but you never come.
And you stayed on for 25 years.
And I stayed on for 25 years. I got my first job teaching, and then it just continued. It just continued. As I say, most Ghanaians, especially those of us, you know, in the classroom, you have your bags packed. You're always coming, but you just don't make it, you know, coming. So really, I stayed over.
As one of their own who is making it in the United States.
You know, for me, the background where I grew up, you just don't go and forget about your folks.
Right.
So constantly in touch and visiting when I can, making phone calls back home, although it wasn't easy those days.
Yeah.
You go and book the phone call and wait to hear from for them to call you back. Successful I was in somebody's country. Ghana was always my home. This is the boy from Safo, and I never forgot that.
So you served as a role model to some people within the family, I guess.
Within the family, but you know, in my family, as I said, I was the last born. By the time I got my PhD, there were 3 other PhDs ahead of me. Before I became a professor, there were 3 other professors ahead of me.
Okay.
But you know, the lesson there is that, you know, you achieve all of these things with the help of others, especially in my case, the older ones in the family. Yeah. So you learn to be respectful, to be humble, knowing that at the village, one favorite place was always to go back to the primary school, to the middle school, interact, go back to the classroom, meet the teachers, mix with the town folks and stuff like that. I mean, I just found those useful and interesting, and you know, myself and my siblings come back to the village. They just love that.
Okay. You got poached by GIMPA to come and do what?
Okay. I met the rector of GIMPA at a conference in Washington, D.C. And you know, in his now he is Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade. And he says, "Young man, what are you doing here? You're wasting time." And I look at him and say, "What is he talking about?" I came and, you know, got his office in 2 minutes. He said, "Let me just walk you around the campus." So we went around and he showed me all the things he's doing. And he said, to an academic institution that was doing great things. GIMPA was taking advantage of the institutional renewal process in Ghana, where, you know, the state allowed certain institutions. Professor Ade got the government to allow GIMPA to do that.
Right.
So it was an exciting time to come to GIMPA. We had to pay for ourselves, so by developing new programs, innovative programs, new ideas. So I came in and looked at the place, what was going on. I said, I'm going home. And, some people just look at me, are you sure? I said, well, if I go and it doesn't work, I can always come back. So, but I came back without much hesitation.
Okay, so what motivated you, apart from maybe the need to innovate? Was there any pecuniary interest that brought you to GIMPA? Maybe you were attracted by fatter salaries or, something else?
Actually, myself and a lot of people, when you come, if you consider the money, you won't come.
Okay.
Because you give up a lot of money. My former school, somebody took them to my old office. They come back and say, "Prof, you gave up all of this to come to GIMPA?" And I say, yes. But for me, the motivating factor was really the fact that you can make a contribution.
Right.
And I think that was the leading one, that I can make a contribution. Because what GIMPA was doing at that time, under the leadership of Professor Day, was new programs, new buildings, a lot of things were going on, and he says, yeah, I need you to come in as an academic, so that I can spend. And he handed over a lot of the academic programs to me as the dean of the graduate school to run some of these programs. And also in 6 months' time, let's see, came in January, in 8 months' time, I had become the deputy rector of GIMPA. So really he gave to me, the chief academic officer, so that I can do a lot of the academic programs and a lot of the curriculum changes and stuff like that. So for me, the notion that I could make a contribution and that I made a contribution was worth the sacrifice. That I made in coming here.
So will you say that the systemic change that you brought has been very impactful?
Well, I would say the systemic change that we brought. So, after I came, we started a lot of programs, a lot of changes. For example, when I was coming, this building here, this graduate block auditorium was under construction. But the subscription was so successful, we split into the business school, graduate school, and then governance and leadership. Which was purely a graduate school. And that's where most of the government leaders, parliamentarians used to come, either for degree programs or executive short-term programs. And so in the business business school, there was ongoing executive master's program. We expanded and then brought in other programs. And these were very successful because I came in 2004. All the for innovation, everybody will tell you, in addition to others, was sustainability.
Right.
To make sure we sustain what had started and that people were coming, very qualified people. So we're able to do that. And in those days, interesting thing is that schools outside Ghana will hear of the transition at GIMPA and they will come to learn the model.
Viewers is telling us about the niche of GIMPA as a management and leadership training higher education institution in Ghana. Let's go as the substantive rector and chief executive officer of GIMPA.
And to be archived for future reference, then look no further than AAU Studios because it's your best bet. With our spacious studio and state-of-the-art media equipment such as 4K Panasonic video cameras, KinoFlow lights, assorted microphones, live streaming machines and others, you are sure to get the best of production. Visit us at Trinity Avenue, East Legon, adjacent the National Accreditation Board, or contact the AAU studio via the following addresses: info@aau.org, AAUTV@aau.org, Ransford@aau.org. Alternatively, you can call us on 0244 185 998 or 0244 693 342.
Everybody, this is AAU Impact Stories, where we are celebrating academic mentors. And if you just tune in, we are talking to Professor Yao Agyemang-Badu, who was a former rector of Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration. Prof, before we went on break, we were talking about you as a transformative young academic poached by the then rector of GIMPA to come and help rebuild this institution. We know on record that you became the substantive rector. It was just for a period of 4 years.
Right.
Were you able to achieve any ambitious program that you set yourself to do?
I achieved quite a lot. Rector, head, I have been associate dean, I have been dean, deputy rector, and then the rector. So, I had seen it all.
Right.
As long as it's scholar, manager, and then now I'm calling myself a leader. One of the things that I learned immediately is that being deputy rector and a rector are not the same.
Okay.
As rector, you have in countries. You see that, subordinates of it for your attention, say, so everybody is passing up the ball.
Right.
It comes to your desk and you don't have a choice. You have to make the decision. Given my background, I did not like to take decisions. But all of a sudden, now you are the head. You have to take the decision. So I learned very quickly I had to do that.
Okay.
For good or for bad, you have to take the decision and deal with the consequences of that. So that was among the first change.
Okay.
And immediately when I assumed office, also when I say it wasn't easy, when you are following in the footsteps of a very successful, dynamic and well-known leader, it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. We're two different personalities.
Right.
So first I had to be myself and do my own thing in my quiet demeanor. Where I needed to make changes, I did. Where I had to continue with old systems, I did. So, in other words, I learned to be my own person. Building alliances on campus. You know, in the first few weeks, I told the whole of GIMPA, look, if we work together, I know we will succeed. And when we succeed, I'll make sure everybody will experience and share in the benefits of our success. So fortunately for me, for example, we had some big money as soon as I took over. And everybody was asking, are we going to get bonus? Are we going to get bonus? And I said, I will try. So at academic board meeting, Ghana cities.
As a flat rate.
Flat rate to everybody. Wow. So imagine some of the junior level employees making less than, very motivational. That was the hit. So from that point, you come to get
The deputy rector or the rector?
they were, what you do, you can't please everybody, and you shouldn't. But I had a clear vision. This vision, I had 10-point agenda. So no matter the bad times, I stuck with that vision. I will constantly look at it, you know, so, and say, yeah, you know, doing a PhD is like driving a car. Once you learn the mechanics, then you are able to do it successfully. So I'm imparting that knowledge to the PhD students and some on some of the senior programs. So apart from the PhD classes, I do some of the masters and then the special programs, and I just love it. I don't know when I'm going to retire. You know, as long as I can climb the stairs to come to my office, I think I'm still fit to teach and I can make a contribution. And these days when I go out on speaking engagements, I tell people, you know, the moment you stop learning and contributing, then you become irrelevant. And I want to be relevant.